takes a journey to tame the wild. The one bound by ground and sky, and the one whose boundaries can be found only in the mind. Hitting the target starts with setting your sights on a trophy whose value comes in the journey. When the horizon seems infinite, but your possibilities even greater. An expedition that requires running to the elements, not away. Because in each of us lives a hunter, and in every hunter, an athlete. Run2Gun.
Welcome to Run2Gun. I'm Jordan Miller. If you missed last week, you have a lot to catch up on. I drew for my first Archery Elk tag in New Mexico, and I strength trained all summer long to get ready. Everything was going great. Opening morning came, that big bull stepped in, and I missed. This is where my strength training truly came to a test. Not in the physical sense, but in the mental aspect of the hunt. Today, I'm going to take you through how that strength training saved my butt on this hunt. So let's get started. On this week's episode, I'm going to show you some additional strength training I did to stay mentally and physically tough enough to get through this hunt. And then later in the episode, we're back down in New Mexico chasing big bulls. You're watching Run2Gun. I knew I needed to work on my physical strength for this hunt to be successful. I wanted to train all summer long and feel like I never left the prairie when I was up on that mountain. But I also know, like most hunts, it takes more than just a physical factor to be successful. It takes a mental strength and toughness to get through when something doesn't go your way. And that's exactly what happened to me. I missed that big bull on the very first morning and it wasn't going my way. So that is why I incorporated giant sets into my strength training routine. Today, I'm going to be demonstrating giant sets. Now, what is a giant set? It is when you're hitting the same muscle group with 3 or more exercises in a row without taking any breaks. So not only does it challenge our strength, it challenges our mental strength. Let's get after it. I'm going to start with 4 dumbbell lunges. So I have my 2 dumbbells. I'm forward lunging, big power step back. Now with my lunges, I'm alternating these. I'm thinking about stepping out and dropping straight down into my glutes. My glutes and my hamstrings are what's lowering me down in position and stepping back. Now in my whole workout, I'm going to be hitting 6 to 10, especially when I'm getting up to my heavier reps. I'm hitting my warm-up rounds right now on each leg. So 6 to 10 after my warm-ups. I'm rocking and I'm right in to my next exercise. So I'm dropping down and I'm right on to my next exercise. A barbell step up on the plyo box. Now just like the squats, the barbell is going over top of the traps. I'm gonna do one leg at a time. So I'm centering my leg on the box. My posture is tall. I'm pressing down with my right leg into the box. I'm not jumping off my floor leg or my left leg here. So I'm pushing down into the box, using my right glute to power up, and notice I'm using that right glute to come nice and slow down. Now think about those motions up on the mountain. How is this relating? This is just like climbing a mountain. Big steps over top of rocks, over top of down timber. It's simulating exactly what I'm gonna go through in a couple months. Switching legs, left leg on, again, left leg's pressing down into the box, nice and slow back, and repeating. Now I'm trying to keep a tight core. I'm trying to keep nice tall posture, even when the fatigue's starting to set in, and you can hear it. So this is where the mental strength is coming into play. How strong am I gonna be to push through the workout and finish it like I know I'm capable of doing? So I'm finishing up, I'm on to my weight plate lateral lunges. So 50 pounds, 25 each arm. Lateral lunge, nice and slow back. Now notice my off leg is staying straight. So I'm popping out, sitting back into my left glute, right leg staying straight. So I'm stretching out my right groin and sitting back into my left glute. Big power step up, opposite side. Stretching out my left groin, sitting into my right glute. Big power step up. Repeating as so. So a little bit different than the strength training routines
my heart rate is extremely elevated here versus a semi-elevated heart rate with just the strength training. So this is going to play a factor this fall when I pop up in the mountains. I'm completely out of breath now, you can hear it. But when I'm on the mountains now, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna climb a couple of extra 1,000 feet when I'm not used to here. I'm gonna be out of breath. Maybe when I get to the top of the mountain, I'm gonna have to take a shot on that bull elk, and I have to be prepared for that mentally and physically. Now, this is just one segment of giant sets. There's many more types of giant sets we can do with different exercises. So more on that, jump on over to run2gun.com or visit our Facebook page.
When we come back, I put my mental toughness to the test through continued rains and hikes up to 10,000 feet elevation, all in hopes of getting on a big New Mexico bull.
We're going out for our first afternoon hunt, first day here, Friday the 13th, and rain's continuing. We just had word that Boulder, Colorado, and a whole bunch of area just down that New Mexico up Colorado is all getting flooded out. So I know we've had at least 7 inches since we've been here, so the ground's just saturated. We're hoping that it starts to break off a little bit every once in a while. It looks like it wants to, but then just kind of rolls back in. So we're just gonna stay focused and try to stay positive on everything, stay as dry as we can, and then go out and kill an elk. Wet doesn't even describe what we are. We're just saturated with water right now. So.
The afternoon was slow, so we decided to head back to camp and dry out all of our gear.
Trying something new, throw a little face paint on. I think that's why our bull kind of spotted us early yesterday, so covering up a little bit better today.
So we spent nearly an hour that morning hiking up this huge ridge. It was one of the bigger ridges of that weekend so far. And when we got to the top, we did some glassing and we were tired already. And we spotted this bull elk about 1.5 miles away, maybe a little bit more. And Justin turns to me and he's like, "We gotta go." And we had just gotten up to the top. I'm just catching my breath and we're right back down that mountain and we're gonna climb up an entirely different one about 2 miles away. So, you know, the strength training is coming in right now, and not just the physical factor, but the mental factor is coming right back at us.
Pull across the canyon, rustling to get down and get over there. Be real careful with the cow. Go ahead and start working. Be ready. Don't have an arrow around.
The herd headed over the ridge, so we followed, and those bulls were screaming.
That's the smaller one. There's a bunch. Come on. 400 yards from a bull, trying to get in front of him. Work his way down this ridge. There's two of them. There's a really big one. He's not as big, but we're 100, 120 yards from him. Yeah, I think he's got a satellite bull. The other bull's got all the cows, so Justin's behind us. We're just gonna keep trying to get in front of him. He's down in that thicket right now, just scraping and eating. Let's keep moving. Where's that? Oh, there he is. There he is. Behind that tree right there. Well, pretty good second day, second morning here. We hiked up a big mountain, all but sprinted down it to get on another set of bulls. We got within 80 yards of a nice 5x5, but just couldn't quite make it happen. He kept moseying, chasing some cows, but we were dang close a couple times, but hopefully we'll get on him tonight. Justin's doing a hell of a job, so can't complain.
When we come back, we head back to that same ridge we were at this morning and spotted a nice bull. Everything might be coming together. Run2Gun is brought to you by Gun Up the Magazine. Best Western Ramkota Hotel and Conference Center in Pierce, South Dakota. Clubhouse Hotel and Suites in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Max Muscle Sports Nutrition, Sioux Falls. Fitness 19 Sioux Falls, where you can afford to get fit. Range Country Lodging, Murdo, South Dakota. Fellowship of Christian Sportsmen's Plus. And dogooders.com, where we do dog poo. Welcome back. We're on the trail of some nice bulls, and I could really feel the fatigue setting in from that morning when we hiked up that monster mountain and back down. But we spotted a nice one in the distance, and this is where all that training is going to pay off.
Justin spotted this nice bull about 900 yards away on this ridge, so we're just going to work our way to the next ridge. We sat up here for about 45 minutes or so, just waiting to hear some bugles, and we heard a few off to our north here, and Dad and Chris are within 200 yards, I guess, of those, and we're just going to work our way down to the next ridge, get close to this one, see what happens as the sun starts going down.
After we spotted that bull, we hiked about a mile to the bottom of that ridge, and we got to the bottom and we contemplated not going up because it was so steep and so thick with brush, but I am so glad we did, because when we got to the top, out of nowhere, there he was.
Walked up right on the floor. Oh, yeah. We just hiked up this. We just hiked up the steepest, rockiest slope ridge right here. We were not being quiet these last 30 yards. We come up right here and Justin just turns and he's like, arrow, arrow, arrow. And I just crouched down, got my arrow in, I look up and this bull's bedded down 20 yards. 20 yards.
He saw me.
And
he saw me.
He wasn't even, yeah.
He thought he was hitting.
Justin, you're the man.
Yeah, yeah.
New Mexico.
Bull.
Day 3, 2013. New Mexico public land.
Our first nice day.
Yeah, first nice day. It's been raining. They got over 7-8 inches here in the last 3 days. It's actually the first day that my legs and boots ain't soaked. The sun's shining. Like, talk about a beautiful day. Younger's back here just shaking. Thank you, Lord. Oh my gosh. Dude, we prayed for opportunity hard.
Dude, congrats.
Oh. We haven't had service here for like a week, for the first 4 days we've been here. I have a little bit of service on this ridge. It's kind of ironic because I get to text my wife, tell her that we knocked on a bull. She was, we talked to her last night on the phone on a little payphone deal, and she was wishing me luck for today. So kind of ironic that I get 1 bar of service right here to be able to send off her a text, tell her bull down. This is, I'm pretty lost for words right now.
That's why I carried it.
Oh my gosh, look at this guy. This is awesome. His bed is 20, not even 10 yards right down here. And we climbed up on him and snuck up on him in his bed. And Justin just told me to put an arrow in, and I just put an arrow in, went full draw. Didn't even know where he was at yet. And I saw him move his head. He was bedded down in just a little circle of shade. And it took him probably 30 seconds just to get him to stand up. He made a couple bugles and he finally stood up and stretched a little bit, and we put the first one in him, and he ran, I don't know, 20 yards and stopped and threw another arrow in, and I had a gap probably that big between 2 trees. And that was probably my best shot of my life right there. Actually, we drilled him right where we needed to, and we put 2 more arrows in him. He was just circling. He did not want to leave. Put 2 more arrows in him after that before we literally put him down back in his bed. We put him back to bed, and couldn't ask for more. New Mexico was awesome to us. We've dealt with some tough weather, but my gosh, is it ever worth it, man. Answered prayers, and God totally just guided the arrow to the right spot and got it done. So very, very thankful. And this is why we train hard. This is why we work our butts off in the gym, and this is why we eat healthy. So we come up to these mountains, we don't get our butt kicked. We work now, we can pack them off. We might get our butt kicked a little bit there, but we got a couple other guys, so we'll be all right.
After all that training, everything paid off. But now for the next 3 days, I'm gonna try to help my dad fill his tag. Now we make it to the 3rd day of the hunt, and the bulls are really starting to respond to the calls. They're really starting to move, the rut is picking up, the rains have slowed down. The 3rd afternoon here, Dad gets a shot on a nice bull, but as you can see, the brush is just so thick and the arrow skips off a branch. We continue to hunt hard, and we're seeing a ton of bulls, but in order to kill a bull with your bow, everything has to come together just right. And this time, it just didn't happen for Dad. But that is why it is hunting. We enjoyed every bit of that New Mexico hunt together, and that is why we're a father and son combination. That's why we love to go hunting together, train together, and do what we do. We're gonna keep at it, and hopefully we get another shot at this in the future. It's safe to say that was a trip of a lifetime. I set out and accomplished exactly what I wanted to do, plus I got to spend a week with my dad out in the field. What's better than that? I also proved that my training program that I set up and elaborately planned all summer long completely paid off. This hunt was tough, and the compound lifts we did helped me get through the miles and miles of hiking up and down elevations, and when I was carrying out that big bull. We packed that baby out over 2.5 miles off that mountain. The giant sets we incorporated helped me after I missed that bull on opening morning. I didn't want to get in a slump, and those giant sets helped me get through and carry on throughout the rest of the hunt. Next week, we're back in central South Dakota working on some in-season conditioning and chasing some deer with our bows. If you want to learn to train like me, go to Run2Gun.com.
Because in each of us lives a hunter, and in every hunter, an athlete. Run2Gun.